Shout out my son, Reese the director.
Shout out Reese the director.
And shout out to Reese the
Because
director.
I seen the lows. Slowly but surely trying to reach my goals. I'm going through things that nobody knows. Learning my lessons, I'm taking them slow. I've been down there.
And we live in the living room. Shout out to Reese the director and Danielle.
All right, Elwood. Where are you from?
I am originally from Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay. So where you stay at now?
I currently live in New Haven right now.
Okay. So Connecticut, born and raised.
Connecticut, born and raised. When I was like, I want to say my junior year, I moved to West Haven, and I was there for a little bit, and then moved from a couple other places. Then ended up in New Haven.
Okay.
All right. So how did you get your name?
Well, my rap name is actually my regular name. That's like my real name.
Oh, okay. So that's your government.
Yeah, that's my government.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Elwood. It's ELWOOD. But yeah, I'm named after my father. So
Dope. So that's your first name.
my first name, yes.
Dope.
So you like Elwood the second or?
Nah, actually, my dad doesn't have a middle name. I have a middle name. So my middle
Same
name
here.
is James.
That's
so
fun. Same here. Me and my dad got the same name, but we got different middle names. So
yeah, he didn't want me to
I
be a
feel
junior.
like just because you have a middle name doesn't mean you can't be a junior. You got the same first name, same last name.
Yeah, I kind of go.
junior.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. He always emphasized on the fact that he didn't want me to be a junior. That's why he gave me a James.
Your father make music or anything like that too?
Nah, my father has rhythm. Like he could dance.
Yeah.
He could play the congas a little bit. I remember he used to play like congas back in the day, like growing up in church and whatnot.
Can't sing?
Nah.
Wow.
He has no
music abilities.
no singing capability at all whatsoever, man.
What about your mom?
I get my singing from my mom's for sure.
Okay.
My mom's
I
is a
love
singer.
that.
She's definitely a singer. I remember she used to sing
In church?
yeah, she used to sing in church for sure. She was in the choir as well. Yeah. But one song she used to always bump was Shaka Khan.
Oh, all right.
Which one? Come on.
Ain't Nobody. Was it?
I was
Ain't
swear I was
Nobody.
just singing that.
Yeah.
Love me,
Loves me,
love
but
me.
that.
I swear I was
That's when
just
she like cleaning the house and stuff. You smell like
Bro,
pine
what?
straw in the morning.
I be bumping that joint when I'm cleaning the crib.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that whole song is crazy.
Right.
Like the levels that joint goes to is ridiculous. Nah, for sure though.
All right, good stuff. All right, how long have you been an artist?
I feel like I started doing music when I was like 11, 12. You know, like my older brother does music, and like he's always been the one like who started it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like he's always been rapping. I remember him freestyle and everything. Like he would go to the corner store and get with the little mixtape or the beats that they used to have, like the 20-something tracks and instrumentals.
Oh wow!
And he used to just put them on and write songs to him. Like he was just a beast with it. So I've always looked up to that, you know. So I felt like, you know, let me do my thing, you know.
Right.
I've always been creative, like growing up, like we were like in church. So I was like, I wouldn't say extremely sheltered, but we were pretty sheltered. Like, you know what I mean? Like my mom would really try to protect us of a lot of things from the world, you know. So a lot of those things were music. So like I didn't growing up the whole 90s, like I'm born 92, so growing up in the 90s, like I had none of that. I had none of that R&B, none of that original hip hop, like even like early 2000s, like I got none of that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of songs that people might know just because they were hits at that time, I'm like, I never heard this song. I don't know this song. So a lot of our creativity, it would come just from like what we felt and what we like heard. You know what I mean? Like we would just make up sounds. Like I remember we like had hangers and we were like, I would drum on my Nintendo that didn't work, and then my sister and my brothers will do harmony. My brother will rap. You know what I mean? Like it'll be like that. You know. So I feel like I've always been an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, since I was young. You know, since I was a youngin', I feel
So
like
it's like
in
a
elementary school,
The whole family was musical.
Oh, like my brothers and sisters, like we all got it.
Oh wow!
Like even my younger sister, she sings. My younger sister, she's twins. She's fraternal twins with my younger brother. and they both sing. My brother, I wouldn't say he's a singer, but he could hold a note.
Yeah.
But he has the ear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he send me and my brother beats. Like, yo, I think this is fire. Like you hear me, like, oh yeah, like this is definitely fire.
Yeah, I love that. Cause I come from a family of 11 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Oh
the
my
second
God.
oldest. I'm the second
You got
oldest
11 brothers
of
and
11.
sisters?
I have 10 brothers and sisters.
Don't
I'm
mess
the
with the
second
Walkers.
oldest. Then we
Oh my
come
God.
from-
Yo, that's an offense. That's
Hell yeah,
an
that's an army.
a defense. That's a whole football
Right.
team.
Don't
We
mess with
come
the Walkers.
deep.
That's a full. I'm 1 out of 5, so it's 5 of us.
Right.
But we a mob in itself. Like we done been through the wire, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, yeah.
psst,
There's
been
always
through
a
the
story.
wire.
There's always a
No,
story.
for sure.
What inspired you to make music?
At first, when I started doing music, I felt like it was more of a trying to fit in thing. You know, like when I early
With
stage.
the family or like?
Just in general, like I've always like did like positive music. So at a part of my life, man, like my music was extremely like Bible based.
Okay.
So like that's where that was like one of the first stages I've got on was like church stages and rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was more of I feel like a way to try to connect. You know what I'm saying? Because like my brother was doing the whole thing. I was young, you know, still kind of figuring myself out.
Right.
And then I completely stopped doing music. And then like after like I feel like I was like maybe like 19 or 20, and you know it was pretty much me on my own. Like I started my life. You know what I mean? Like just got into my role of being an adult. Like being self-efficient, being all those things. And one of the things that helped me were music. Like I literally just put beats on and I would just rap, freestyle about what I was feeling, about what I saw, like on my commute to work. Like that was the thing I used to do. Like every day, literally for months in at a time, just rap. Not write anything down, not trying to make a song or literally nothing. And I crafted like freestyling. Like bro, on a button, I just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I love a freestyle. There's something about freestyling being able to come off the
Sound
top of your
yeah.
dome is incredible.
And most rappers can't do that nowadays.
No.
You know,
Like especially like if we're vibing and we got beats playing,
you gonna spit.
I'm gonna hit one.
So I mean,
I might be a little, you know what I'm saying? I might be okay. Let me get the flow, boom.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get to my peak,
Right.
and I'm gonna be in that pocket. And when I'm in that pocket, it's like a place. It's like okay, I'm here. Like I'm not thinking about who's around me. I'm not thinking about what's going on. I'm just literally thinking about what I'm
I
saying.
love that. And I think a lot of times, like, I've been in situations where, I've been with a group of friends and some people rap into a beat or whatever, and I feel like I could, but what stops me is like, you don't know what you're doing.
The fear of messing up.
Exactly.
You know,
are
and
a
that's
fan
what
of
kind
battle rap.
Nah, I wouldn't say no. I appreciate the art. Like I've definitely seen videos, and I've been like, yo, like that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? And it was for me like I love cadence. So it's like even though they're talking, it's like they're rapping.
Right.
The way that some of them like deliver, bro. Like I respect the art. You know what I mean? But to say that I'm a fan and that I am knowledgeable of like artists and competitions, I wouldn't say that. I can't sit here and lie. You know what I mean? Like. And be like, oh yeah, like nah. Like I appreciate the art, but I'm not into it in that way. You know what I mean? Like, but I definitely seen things, and I've been like, yo, like impressed, like and genuinely impressed, and appreciative of the art. For
So
sure.
what inspired your sound?
I feel like my sound comes from. I feel like it comes from a gospel place. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always soulful.
Yeah.
Like I definitely love like good harmonies, like warm sounds, like things that like do something to you, like in a more spiritual mental sense, like sounds, like like hearing something like wow, like that's so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like a lot of it is where like me, just like growing up in church and seeing like the choir of our church like do things to songs, and like I always have that soulful feel, you know what I mean? Like
it
I
just
feel it
moves you.
Yeah.
It moves you the way it sounds. Absolutely. I want to go back to, because you was talking about how you get over that fear, because I might want to freestyle.
Oh,
Alright.
the way I feel like for me personally is like, especially I feel like the fear comes from when there's more people in the room, and a fear of like being judged. Yeah, like okay, like what if I mess up but one thing that I've like since I was in that place where I just rapped every day, you know what I'm saying? Like I will get over those fears on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like where will become more confident, and you learn. Like one thing about freestyling, it's like I feel like me personally, it's an art to be able to just do that on the drop of a dime. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying I'm the best one in the world, but there's some that it's just you got to get into that zone where you know what you're feeling. And I really feel like freestyling comes from a place of like emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like you're literally on the drop of a dime rapping about something that you feel in your heart. You know what I mean? Like that right there is just in itself, it's a hard thing to channel. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, because they more appearing in their head.
But one thing is just forgetting about what somebody else is gonna say or do or think. You know what I mean? Because those are things that are gonna make you better. I done freestyled and got tumbled up like, oh, damn. Yeah. And then another beat come on and I'm in it. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like freestyling has no boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, for sure. And I feel like it gives me an incentive to just like not necessarily like just listen to myself, but like find that place where it's like, okay, if I'm an artist and this is what I'm gonna do, I want to be 150% wholeheartedly genuine. Right. You know, when I used to rap, I used to emphasize on trying to be relevant. You know, trying to fit in and rap about things that I felt like even though I was in that position, but it wasn't something to promote or to speak about it. Yeah. A lot of things that we go through in life, you're like, you know, it's okay, but it isn't something to be promoted. You know what I'm saying? I feel like certain things should be left private, and that's just me personally.
Right, I understand.
But as far as like me making music, I do have my inspirations and things. I want to be able to feel like, yo, like I made that up, like, or I felt that, like it was a genuine thing. It wasn't misguided by something that I heard. So I really just I listen to beats and like acoustic guitars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like just play. I listen to jazz, like especially in my ear all day. I have no idea. It's just literally like playlists of just different kind of jazz music and right. You know, it's just something. I don't know. It just brings me to a very calm place. You know what I'm saying?
So you dropped a mixtape on SoundCloud a few years back titled "Phone Calls and Busy Tones." How did you come up with that title?
At that part of my life, I felt like I was really just figuring out myself, especially with my music. Like that was like that project where I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm really gonna put my all into it. I'm gonna invest in myself, and I'm gonna.
Who produced that project for you?
Emerge Engineering. My boy Emerge, man. He knew me since I was like in elementary school. Since when I first started music, like he was in the stands where I went on the stage and BS for 3 minutes. Like he was there, like, and he was funny because like I remember my brother when I came down from that stage and like I sat next to him, he was like, "Yo, bro, you just went up there and just freestyle, didn't you?" Yeah. And I was like, "Yo, bro, man, like completely embarrassed. Like he was so ashamed of me. Like he was like, yo, I can't believe he did it. And we still talk about to this day. Wow. He's like, oh, remember that time, bro? You got on stage and BS for 3 minutes." That was crazy. But anyways,
what was the first project, the first track you dropped on SoundCloud?
Actually, it was a mixtape that I originally released before that. So like a year prior to that, I was working on a different complete project, and it was called Perspective. That never made it because I was in a place in my life where I was making music for the wrong reasons, like with bad intentions, you know.
Just the pain, like stuff you was going through.
Yeah, like I was just like getting into a place where I was like I was like into myself, you know, like I was making money, I had a good ass job, I was doing things on the side, like I was, you know what I mean, like I was in a place where I received something that I wasn't ready for. Okay. So I was going about my life in that demeanor, you know what I mean, like rapping about things that I feel like I said before, it's just things that should be kept private, you know, like I was in a real arrogant state, like talking about money, talking about girls, and I just felt like although those are things that are happening,
and it's appealing to people too.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It gave me more of an incentive. Like, oh yeah, people gonna rock with this. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna rock with this. They gonna listen to because I sound like I'm popping. Like at that time, that was my mentality. You know what I mean? And I was in a situation where I felt like it was God, bro. Like he convicted me, and it was just a bunch of cluster of things that I was going through at that time. You know what I mean? It's a long story in itself. And I had to get to a place where I literally, just to be brief, I don't know if I could talk. Like,
Nah, talk, bro, talk.
Right? So like I was at an encounter. Like an encounter is just a retreat that people do at church. Like you go for away for like 3 days and you have a moment with God or whatever. And or not whatever, but you know what I mean. So my mother and my father, like my mother, like when she was here, she was a pastor with my father. My father's still a pastor to this day, but they were pastors together, you know what I'm saying? So I've been in the church and I've been involved and I've went along life like not believing in God, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never really had my own genuine experience with him. And it wasn't until later on in my life that I had an experience, which I was like, yo, like I felt like God is real, you know? And it took, and being raised in it, you know, still all those years not believing him, not being convinced, you know, and having that moment. And so I'm at this encounter and I'm with my father and my mother and I'm just assisting them because it's a lot, you know, like people are being delivered and a lot of things are happening supernaturally, you know. And so I'm there, you know, and it was just a whole moment. And I remember opening the Bible, and it was a book, and it was a verse in 1 Corinthians where it talks about going into a new journey in your life with fresh bread, and how you can't bring old bread into a new journey. You understand? Like you can't bring things from the past into something that your God is trying to bless you with in the moment, you know? Right. And I felt completely convicted by that because I'm going into a new stage of my life, and I'm trying to bring things that I've dealt with and I've done in the past, even though I'm okay and I'm not the same person I was, but I'm trying to release a project, right? And I'm trying to release it under wrong ground. So now I'm bringing old bread into my new season. Absolutely. And it was time for me to make my new bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, and having that moment, and at that moment I gave my gift to God. And cause even at the encounter, like I would try to sing and I felt like I couldn't sing. Like I felt like I couldn't rap anymore, you know, like it was like a very surreal moment for me. And 2 days later, still dealing with this, you know, I gave God my gift and I was like, you know, I no longer want to be like subjected to doing things that society is doing, you know what I mean? To doing things in that manner. So it was a moment I remember like just a prophet coming up to me and specifically saying things that I've thought in my mind. And he was like, I know that you thought God took your gift away, but I'm giving it back to you because you gave it to me. Wow. Right? So a very surreal moment of something that I had like extremely intimate with myself and God. It wasn't like a thing that I told anybody. So it was a wild moment for me. And ever since then, the only thing that I rap about are things that I feel like I've overcame, things that I feel like I've conquered in my life, and real situations that I've gone through, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really remember what the question was, but I just felt like
it was phone calls and busy tones, because it's that title.
Something about that. So at that time, for me, the phone calls and the busy tones was for sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes I might get a phone call, sometimes I might get a busy tone. So for me, it was like, I remember I did a photo shoot, and we did a photo shoot. One of my first photo shoots, we did it on a phone booth. Like I took a picture and it was like near a phone booth. And that was like that day, like the weekend after that happened, that was like one of those days where I had that moment. So for me, it was like, you know, sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no. And that's why I named the track, I named the project Phone Calls and Busy Tones.
Okay.
So
favorite track on that project?
To be honest, my favorite track on that is, I got a couple, man, but MIA and MIA, Snooze, and RWM, which is like Rock With Me.
You know the singer that was on MIA?
MIA is a personal friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to work with her.
She's still making music?
Actually, that was the first song that she ever did.
Wow.
I heard her single. I used to work at Cheesecake Factory where I heard her singing. She's on Instagram. Her name is Mes Amis. Shout out Mes Amis. Yeah, nah, she's dope as hell. But I was we was working. I just overheard her singing. You know, like.
And she was just like messing around.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, like you sound fire as hell. Like, yo, that's like your voice is beautiful. Like it's different, you know. And I remember I was writing this song and I'm like, yo, bro, I could hear her on it. So I ran it by her. She was totally with it, and we got it done.
Who do you listen to right now?
I mean, honestly, I listen to my older brother Joseph SD.
Oh, okay.
Like, shout out to Joseph SD
Right.
too. But yeah, honestly, my older brother, man, he's extremely talented, man, and he's like, he makes music that I can relate to. Like I feel.
Have you ever collaborated on anything?
We're actually working on something right now,
Wow.
and this is gonna be our first ever collaboration whatsoever. Like, you know, and it's long overdue.
Hell yeah.
But me and him definitely got a vibe together for sure, man. Like, it's a
What's the age difference? How
I
old is
swear I was gonna ask that same question. I
It's
swear.
we're 3 years. We're all 3 years apart, actually.
Oh, all
So
right,
my older
cool.
brother's, he's gonna be 33 this year. I'm gonna be 30. Then my younger brother, Mans, is gonna be 27, and then the twins are gonna be 24.
Wow, every 3 years.
Every 3
Parents said,
years.
Let's get back to it.
Nah, that was on perfect timing for real. They was doing something
That's
different.
what's up. So, what's the name for the project, if you don't mind me asking?
Honestly, I haven't come to that conclusion.
All right.
Yet. For me, names are like.
Something that come last.
Yeah, like it's always the action first and then it's the
Right.
title for me. I used to try to like do the title first and then write off it, but it's a lot of pressure, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes you might start writing and beginning things, you might think there's a topic there,
Yeah.
but then you continue to write, you just like, nah, I'm feeling this, or like,
Yeah.
it just goes different ways.
It's going to be an album or EP?
It's gonna be an EP.
Okay.
It's gonna be EP. When my album drops, it's gonna be all original beats.
Oh,
And I want to be able to collaborate. 'Cause my brother produces as well, so I want to be able to collaborate on him on that. And some like this dude is called Chief Thursday. He's nasty too, man. I don't know a lot of people know about him, but he produces beats, and I'm down with like getting with local people who's doing the same thing or who's are geared to the same goal. Like my goal and my motto is like everybody eats. You know, I'm not.
Absolutely.
I feel like this is what this is about, you know,
Yeah.
like everybody eats, you know,
Yep.
like we're giving you content, but as well giving us content, you're giving us an opportunity to talk about things that I feel like are not only necessary, but even like appreciative for what we're doing, you know what I
Right.
mean? And what journey we're on, you know? So it's like, I love it, man.
The plugs are important because people are looking for people. People are looking for producers. People are looking for, they
Especially
try-
original beat makers.
Yeah. people
No,
are-
that's a
listen,
fact.
Yeah, because
we're looking.
Danny's she's an artist
I'm
herself.
saying,
you know?
I'm looking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I-
no,
I-
it's definitely a hard thing, and you know, and
Because
what
not
I
everybody is your same style. What
Exactly.
you're looking for.
And that's the big thing about it. For me, is I don't care how many people you know, how much followers you have, how much plays you have. I want to be able to vibe on a different level. You know what I mean? There's just there's like a sort of unspoken language in the studio when you're connecting with people musically.
Right.
You know, it's like just things happen. Like I got so much unreleased music, bro. It's ridiculous. Like, but I have a song with my engineer Emerge, and we had did a song together, and he's literally building the song while I'm writing it. So like he literally at first he started with a tempo, and I'm just like okay. Then he laid the beat down. I'm like okay.
Stuff
Then
like
first
that
little
you film.
harmony. As soon as he dropped that first harmony, boom! I started going crazy.
Right.
And then we're literally building as we building. Like you listen to that song, and it's literally a vibe to be from the beginning to the end. Like to me, that's just something
magic.
that that's magic. That's
That's
different.
special.
That's special right
Stuff
there.
like that got to be filmed, man.
Oh yeah,
And then
listen, man.
that-
So many moments in my life, I felt like, damn, you know, there should have been some kind of documentation for that.
And
Right.
did y'all finish in one session?
Oh yeah, one session.
How long did it take?
Like, it was like 8 hours maybe.
Oh, wow.
That's realistic. Yeah.
A little bit. Like
So are you a
8,
one-take artist or you like a plug-in type of artist? Like,
It depends on what I'm doing.
okay.
If it's like a like I have this I did a drum. I was like counting my blessings because I seen the lows. Slowly but surely trying to reach my goals. I'm going through things that nobody knows. Learning my lessons, I'm taking them slow. I've been down this road. I don't need direction, I know where to go. Doing and thinking is two different things, but I know what I'm doing, I'm making it known.
Yeah.
Is at my discretion, I stay in my section, I'm staying connected, I'm all in my zone. Chasing potential till I get better and I'm better than that whole segment, like that whole verse, there's a certain kind of vibe that come with that.
Right.
I can't punch
Can't
that
one
in.
take that,
I
yeah.
can't one take. I can one
Yeah,
take
you
it.
want to.
I don't wanna. No, I do want to take it because I like the energy from the beginning to end. I feel like when you punch in, and there's certain songs that do require you to punch in,
Right.
and I take that. But it's like if it's like a verse and that cadence is dropping in, I feel like there's a certain kind of energy I'm building up into, especially what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, that I want to be able for that to be transparent when you listen to it. I don't want it to be like, you know, learning my lesson because I seen a little. All right, stop it right there. Hold on, I'm about to come in. Right. Like it's like nah. Like for me, it's like let me get into it. One thing I pride on is like, especially in the studio, is breath control. Performing is different. Like that, yo. That was the first time I performed in like year. Like I want to say at least like 5 years, bro.
Wow.
At least like, and it's been a not even I want to say 5 years. I want to say like 3 years. It feels like 5 years, but like 3 years. Realistically, I'm doing the math, but like. Even that long, you know what I'm saying? And then getting up there and being like interacting with the crowd, it was so different, you know what I'm saying? But in the studio, bro, like breath control is like something I pride on. Because like literally before I'm getting in the booth, I'm practicing, and that's one thing that I'm practicing is pronunciation and breath control. Like, that's financially irresponsible.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
If you're paying for studio session, man, you got to do all that lollygagging at the crib.
Right.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. So artists need to listen to this, right?
As soon as I get in the studio, it's like, as soon as I get in the studio, it's like, all right, boom, we're going to do this track and we're going to start off with the first verse. All right, boom, drop in. Do the first verse. All right, cool. I'm going to do another take because I feel like I could perform that a little better.
Right.
Do another take. Have that original. Do another take. And then on top of that, then I'm like, okay, I know I want to do ad-libs right here. You drop me in at this part. I'm going to do ad-libs on this. Like, I'm already there because that's, as soon as I write it, I'm practicing and then I'm going over what I think and then I do a voice memo. And then I'm like, okay, I could do this harmony. Like, I'm already like a couple like, way ahead of time, so when I get there, it's just line it up. You know what I mean? But yeah.
What does making it mean to you?
I feel like making it is such a like has like this narrative built behind it, like where it's like it's being successful, like with money and things like that. I want to be in a place where I know that in my heart I'm doing everything 100% genuine. Yeah. I don't got nothing to be worried or scared or guilty about. Like just living my life wholeheartedly, unapologetically, and just being able to do me and be I feel like free with my time, you know, like I feel like time freedom is extremely important, man, to be able just to get up and not have to listen to anybody and not having to be somewhere because you have to be there, but be there because you want to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I just feel like making it is being in a place where you could look at life very optimistically, also like logically, realistically, but also have some sort of kind of like just hope, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of those things, you know, and I feel like that's what making it is, you know, like as far as like money and whatnot, like that's all good things, you know, but I feel like we could manifest material things. Like the material things are very possible to obtain, you know, but one thing that I feel like a lot of people to this day still have problems getting to is just being in a place of like of mental wellness and just being in peace.
What's the difference between you and you as an artist?
I feel like the difference between me and the artist version of me is the vulnerability. I feel like I'm a little bit more transparent in my music than I would be if we were to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. You know, I just feel like in some way, shape, or form, I'm a little bit, you know, just hesitant. You know, I've dealt with all different kinds of people, you know what I mean? So it's like for me, I like to let your words follow your actions, you know? Like I'm gonna listen to you, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, but then I'm gonna see how you carry yourself.
Right.
You know, I feel like I'm already trained like that in my head, so I come off a little like, okay, you know, just peeping. But, you know, I'm always, like, open to conversation and talking. I'm extremely friendly, you know? Like, I'm not like that, you know? I'm not like, back up. Like, I don't like people. You know?
Yeah. I hate those people.
The only people that I very much dislike, and I don't say hate because I don't like to have hate in my art, you know what I mean? That's one thing my mom's always telling me, like, don't say hate. Mm-hmm. So I very much dislike people who go in to eat at restaurants when it's 5 minutes to close. Like,
I was going to ask you that, like, sidetrack from music. What do you do for a living?
Oh yeah, I'm a chef by trade. Yeah, professionally trained.
Okay.
And I've been in the industry for about 12 years. Okay.
Wow.
From serving to washing dishes to dealing with people to sitting people down to taking orders to cooking to prepping to cooking. So I've done it all from fine dining to fast food.
So have you ever thought about like opening your own business in the
Oh
future?
yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. And I'm on the road to that. You know what I mean? I have a very good job. Thank God, man. Able to provide for my family, do what I love, and also invest in on other things that I could potentially make money on. Because my goal is to be able to live comfortable.
That's the goal.
And one of those.
What I've been on for the past 2 months, right?
It's a fact. It's essential, man. Like, especially like I feel especially when you're the kind of person who like you're strong minded, like, you know, you're like a warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like I don't like listening to people. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like on a childish way of not being immature about it. Like, I understand that I have bosses and the line of chain. I understand how the line of chain works. But me and myself, like, I just want to get to a place where I'm the end of that chain.
Right, of course.
I'm the top of that chain. Like, it starts with me. Everybody else that's below, we rock out. And to me, I've dealt with so many negative, weird bosses in my life that I know what not to do. You know what I'm saying? And I am on that wave, like, whoever's around to help me. And I definitely want to get to a position where I open my own business. Because you can
say I was you.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and install hope. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but glad to work for you.
Yeah, to be appreciated, to be all those things that I wasn't. Because I'm a hell of a worker, you know? And when you work for people, it don't matter how much you do. It's the one thing that you don't. Right. And that's my problem with that. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm giving you hours out of my time a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see you the more than I see my family. Right. You know, like, come on, man. Like, you know, I feel like there's a certain level of appreciation that people should have for each other, you know? Right. So when I do open my restaurant, like, I want to start off as a food truck because I have a specific idea about what I want to execute, something that's cost efficient, but also something that's delicious and something that I could make down to a schematic. And what I mean by that is like specific portions so I can control my costs and have a well-trained system that I could literally grab anybody off the street, show them exactly what needs to do, measurements and anything, and anybody can do it. Right. So that way, if I do open multiples, they'll be the same if you go to A, or it'll be the same if you go to B. Right. And then have that be self-efficient, run while I'm just chilling at the crib. You know what I mean? Like, that's the goal, you know? Okay. But it isn't something to do like, you know, oh man, I want people to just taste my chili, you know? It's like, for me, it's like, I have other ambitions, you know what I'm saying? Like, but,
any children?
Yeah, I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Oh, okay.
2-year-old daughter, her name is Violet.
I'll say I have a 2-year-old.
Violet. She's amazing. She's she's definitely a part of the molding. Yeah. A part of the life changing for sure. Having kids to do that to you for sure. So it's a beautiful thing though. It's definitely a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful. Would
you want to like pursue being an artist as well?
Yeah. Want her to pursue it? Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Why not? I feel like she could be whatever she wants to be. Of course. You know what I mean? She's at that
she's
time.
Showing signs of like do you love to listen to your music and stuff like that?
Oh, what? She's the Sunshine song, the one that I did on the event on December 4th.
That's her favorite song.
A joint.
Yeah.
She'll be like, Bobby, sing Sunshine.
Yeah. That's
and she'll sing it with me. Like she'll even like the bars, even like the rap bars, like she doesn't know, like she knows the end bars. Yeah. So she'll be like, no, okay. Like, and she'll say like the end bar with it, like, so it's mad adorable, man.
That's what's up.
But it's one thing, like, I remember when I was recently getting back into music, and she would like, her room was right next to my office, so while she's going to bed, I know she could hear me rap like late at night, like it was like 2 in the morning, I'm rapping. Yeah. You know, so I remember when I first recorded the song and I brought it back and I played back, and like she came into the room like I didn't ask her to come in there voluntarily, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, Bobby, this is you? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, I love you. Like just like that, like
that's the track?
No.
Oh, I thought you caught that.
No. That right, see, those are one of those times that you wish I had it documented. Like those are one of those crazy moments, and it was a crazy surreal moment. Like she felt that.
So if you had the opportunity to talk to your younger self before you started taking music serious, and with everything you know now, what advice would you give?
Wake up. Wake up.
That's it. Just wake up.
Wake up, and I mean that in all the sense of the word. Right. Word, like stop sleeping. Like stop sleeping on yourself. Right. Like, and it's funny. That's like that. That's what that song "Coma's" about. Literally, like I've spent a long time like dwelling and expecting that people owed me the world because I had a rough life, you know, like I expected that people will feel bad or sympathize for me and like wait for people to do things or like wait for people to believe in me before I believed in myself, you know. So that's one thing I would say to somebody else. I was wake up. I wasted a lot of time waiting on that, you know what I mean? And but yeah, and that's, you know, anybody in that position in their life, you know, going through anything remotely similar to that, like, you know, it's okay to, you know what I mean, to chase things and desire things for yourself,
Definitely.
and not waiting for somebody else to see the vision you have. Like you'd be killing yourself.
If you had the opportunity to record a track with any mainstream artist, who would it be and why? And do you have a title for that track?
I feel like that's a very hard question just because it's like a lot. One thing I feel like for me, and this is probably gonna be the last person you're gonna think about, but Justin Timberlake.
Really?
Justin Timberlake. And the reason why I say that is like Justin Timberlake was like the Future Sex Love Sounds project that he did was like the first body of music I've ever heard that was secular.
Okay.
Like after like being show like yo, my mom had BET blocked, MTV blocked, like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney. I'm talking about we only watched PBS.
Oh my God.
Like and Channel 13 and like 11 and stuff. Like
Yo.
that's what I was watching. Like I was watching Arthur. I was watching Clifford.
Big Comfy Cows, right?
Big Comfy Cows.
Right.
Big what's it?
The girl that would have to do the clock on the floor.
Yeah.
Big Comfy Cows.
Hip Hop Harry.
Yo.
All that.
Go.
Bro, like literally that's what I would watch. What is it called?
Yo.
The kids in the Magic School Bus?
Yeah.
What other freaking show?
Dragon Tales?
Yes, bro.
Dragon Tales is definitely good though.
Dragon Tales. But those are valid shows.
Definitely valid
And
shows.
extremely
That's
informative.
why we
Definitely.
naming them, right? Because we
Right.
rock with them.
I rock with them
Extremely
too. I was a
informative.
Disney Channel kid. I'm not gonna lie. Like my friends were into anime and all that stuff, but I was never an anime guy. Like
Not for me,
you know?
growing up, Dragon Ball Z was the devil. Like straight up.
Oh
like,
wow, it's straight
Like my
demonic
mom was
to
like,
you.
no, that no.
Yo. So are you guys saying
She was
what
like,
you're doing?
Comic Con. No, like honestly, to an extent, yes.
Yeah.
And it's not because of anything. It's
You're like
literally
tablets consumer.
it is literally just a mere fact of the vibes that I get from things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my discernment is like pretty much has like a 96% like successful like rate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty much on it sometimes. When I feel something, it's usually cause, you know, like if I feel comfortable, I'm comfortable. But if I'm uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable.
And it's for a reason.
And it's for a reason, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like that, you know? There's even shows that my daughter watches sometimes that I see it, and you know, like there's so much things that are on nowadays for kids, like
You can't control everything.
nah, I can't. So there's some things, but there's like things that because literally if I could be facing this way, but I could see back here, you know what I mean? Like I'm on it, you know? Like my daughter watches something, I'm immediately, I hear something funny, and I'm like, I'm gonna let them finish the sentence, and the sentence continues to get funny, I'm like, nah, we changing that. We changing that, baby girl. I'm sorry. She be like, Poppy, that's my show. I'm like, not today.
Not today.
Nah, I don't do I even like unicorns. Like I don't do unicorns.
Yo, my stepdaughter loves unicorns. I'm like,
Because
why?
they pushing that on every girl toy. I literally cannot buy my daughter something
hoodies.
without a unicorn on it.
unicorn on it.
I'm like, yo.
And then they're rainbows.
And then it's like even bed sheets, bro, for girls.
Yeah.
Like little things that you don't think about. I remember I bought her diapers and I had unicorns on them. I'm like, come on, man.
Yo.
Like, you gotta leave the diapers alone, man. We gonna have we need some neutral diapers. Like I be having to buy neutral diapers.
What's the hardest part with being independent?
I feel like that question doesn't really apply for me itself, just cause, like, I don't know. I guess I am an independent artist, but it's like I do music just
As an outlet.
as an outlet.
I
It's
feel
literally a
like,
way.
When you say that, you feel like you put yourself in a box.
Yeah, like like you know, like an upcoming artist. Like I'm not trying to up and come nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
feel you.
if it happens, it happens. What I am doing is I'm putting energy and intention behind my music,
That's deep.
which is like I'm gonna be putting out videos, but my videos are gonna have intention, and it's literally to show the intention. It isn't to promote me or to promote a brand or to promote any for like any kind of stream or wherever I post my music. It's just a voice. Like I want people to know that they're not alone doing going through this thing we call life. Like, it's difficult, you know, and it's difficult especially when you're a person who feels misunderstood, you know, like, or you feel like when you talk to people, they're not really listening to what you're saying, you know, they're just taking in what they feel or what they're going through and applying it to your life when your life is different. You know, one thing I heard very interesting, it was like, you're not the star of everybody's life. You know, like, you're not the star of everybody's life. Everybody has a different journey, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we all have a responsibility, you know, as humans on this earth to fulfill a purpose. Like, I feel like everybody has a purpose, whether it's something little or something big, you know, like, you know, what you're doing right now and where you are right now is all in alignment of something that you felt like you had to do in your heart, you know, and you're here being consistent, being aware and doing what you have to do and doing it to a certain extent of excellence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to aim for excellence. And that right there is fulfilling purpose in itself. It's being a good steward of your time, and taking responsibility of the time that you have here on earth. You know, like you say, you're doing it to give other people an outlet. Like, the purpose behind it is beautiful. You know what I mean? So for me, when I think about independent and being signed, I feel like it doesn't apply to me because what I'm doing right now isn't for the intentions of becoming an independent artist or becoming a signed artist. It's just literally, it's things that I've gone through, and it's a way of me releasing them, but also it's a way of informing other people, whoever could relate, and being that voice. Like, that's literally what that means for me, you know? Like, that's where I'm at with that, you know?
Okay.
So many people sleep on their talents too. So I think it's dope that you point out that he's doing what he's doing to a certain degree of excellence. Like, so many people have talent. I feel like everybody has a talent.
Definitely.
Everybody has a talent.
So many people are just not tapped into it.
Exactly. And we have a lot of people who are waiting for other people to kind of like turn that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Like,
nah, bro. Like, I tell you, bro, I would not. And it's not nothing like, I'm really just in my own world,
right.
But to a certain extent, like, I'm not so secluded where like I'm not reachable. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm not of this world. I feel like, you know what I mean? I'm not of this world. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for a different goal. Like, I'm here to try to be a difference. You know, I don't want to just fall in line. You know, like, that's not me. You know, like,
following the trends.
Nah, I'm not trying to fall in line. And the thing is that I wouldn't even be here if I felt like you're not doing nothing powerful. Like, you know, like, the fact that you're even doing this, bro, like, this is dope as hell, bro. Like, this is dope, bro. This is like extremely, extremely intentional. You know, like, that's what I feel. Like, everything is with intention. Right. You know, and bro, like, you're gonna be blessed, man. You just continue what you're doing and keep your heart and keep your motives genuine, bro. You'll be blessed, bro, for real. And I feel that, bro.
Yeah. If you had to choose between what makes you happy and what makes you money, which one would you choose?
I think you guys know the answer.
Yeah, I know that just from the whole interview already.
Yeah. I'd rather be happy because I've had money. Yeah. Like, right now I live comfortable and I live in a position where I can play around. You know, I could dabble in here, do what I got to do, also pay my bills, and also, you know, if I want a pair of kids, I can buy a pair of kids if I wanted to. Like, in that sense, you know, like, just narrowing it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm uncomfortable. But I'm also in a position where I want to take that and invest, you know. But as far as like being happy is an everyday challenge. Everyday challenge, bro. Like, certain things can happen to alter your mood immediately. Like,
instantly. You can wake up from a dream and don't even remember the dream, but you just wake up pissed.
Yeah, and it's all different kind of, like, you know, we're all different, you know, we all go through like things, bro. Like, all got certain personal lives. Like, I envy the people who are just like all ready to go. Like, oh, you just crashed my man, don't worry about it, bud. You know, the insurance will handle that. You know, like, that kind of, like, yo, that's beautiful, bro. Like, you know, I would like to be able to choose like a be like that every day, where I'm not like I'm insensitive to things, but like to a point where I'm not looking at it like the glass is half empty, you know, like that's certain is like, I feel like it's okay to feel anger and sadness and things, but it's when we start to act on them, when we start to act on them and allow it to consume us, where it becomes just dangerous, you know. So yeah, they're not channeled into doing more for themselves. they're just like, oh man, I gotta go to work, and then they get home, they off of work, like, damn, I gotta work tomorrow. Like, damn, bro, like, you don't even know you're gonna wake up.
You gotta see some good in it, right?
Yeah, like for me, like I work from 10:30 to 8 o'clock at 8:30 at night, bro. Between those hours, I am dialed in. I am the chef of the year, bro.
Right.
When I clock out, I do not work there. That place does not exist to me until the following morning.
That's how it should be.
45 minutes before I gotta be there.
They got all your time. They got your time while you there.
And when
you get home and you
hell no. Hell no.
And I used to be like that too, where especially I used to work in the supermarket, and I swear I used to go home, I used to hear beep, beep. I still hear it while I'm asleep. I'm like, yo. Like, I gotta get away from it.
That's wild. Nah.
Yeah,
the
man,
ticket machine at the job too be doing that.
Yeah.
I be home and I be in the shower, I be like,
yeah,
I'm
like,
damn,
that's my word.
not even here, boy.
All right, I feel like definitely answered this question. If you had the opportunity to join a label or continue being independent, which route would you choose?
Nah, when the opportunity arises, so I would like to form my own way of income, like, you know, book my own show, do what I gotta do, like, you know, like I said, like, if I made 400, 500,000, like, I know a lot of independent artists make between like $300,000 to $500,000 a year.
That's beautiful. It's perfectly fine.
Bro, there's a certain kind of complication that come with making a certain amount of money, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like the aim is always more, but the aim is not the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the money. Like, it's cool. You gotta have all the money in the world, but if it's just sitting in the bank, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing with your time? What kind of influence are you having? Like, you know, like the money's always gonna increase because my intentions are always gonna be good, and I'm always gonna put my things into things that I feel like are fertile ground. You know, I'm not gonna be putting my time or money or energy into anything that I feel like I'm gonna be coming up empty. And I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about what I'm feeling. Like, I'm not gonna be putting my time into things that I'm not gonna be being any kind of fulfillment from. You know, because the goal is not the money. Because I can't take the money to me when I die, so it's not the money. It's cool to have money because you can balance other things out, and you can actually be a human being, and you don't gotta be worrying and stressing about things that don't matter, like money. That's cool, like when you have that kind of money, when you have money like that to be comfortable. But the goal isn't the money for me, you know what I mean? Like, the goal isn't the money.
It's good to point that out because a lot of people look at money as, I gotta get that just because.
Yeah.
I gotta get that. Ooh, more. So.
Yeah, no, I feel like,
point it out that way.
I feel like when you move with intention, I feel like all that stuff just adds on. Like, all that stuff is gonna be there. Like, if you're moving in your purpose, and I feel like, you know, I feel like God is always going to be there to bless you, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're being 100% like just lined up, like how you guys are doing this right now, just being lined up with people and just having a good heart and, you know, being genuine about what you're doing. Like, I genuinely feel like, you know, provision is going to come. Like, you know, sooner or later, you're going to have all different kinds of equipment in here. It's going to be a whole different level up in here, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm here for it. Call me when you get it, okay?
I will. I mean, that's the goal. I invested so much money into stuff that I don't even know how to use. I don't know how to use. I'm like, I just need it. You got to cut the middleman. That's always my goal. I hate needing people.
So what is the hardest part, in your opinion, with growing a fan base?
I don't know. A lot of people like different things, man. I feel like it's the taste of music as well. I feel like what's important in making a fan base, and I feel like what makes me a fan is consistency.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, consistency, I feel like in your music, like if you can't just have a whole album and you got one hit on there. At least for me, like it don't have to be a mainstream hit, but it got to be a bop for me to be like rocking with it. And I feel like a lot of people hit or miss that. I feel like there's a couple of artists like who've entered into the industry recently within the last 5 years that I feel like a lot of them are like those hit and miss, where they could drop something, but then it's like, you know, this one don't really hit for me, you know, like. But there's very few that do that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like what creates what creates the fan base is obviously the consistency, but putting that kind of energy into every single song. Like, every single song for me, like, has to be from beginning to end 150% executed. Like, one thing I can't stand, and I feel like a lot of people, like, even just in general, not just like mainstream artists in general, like a lot of people don't, like, you can always tell when a song is like being forced and rushed, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I feel like a lot of people listen for that. Like, a lot of people and consumers could tell bull, like they could read BS.
Who's your top 5? Was that Dead or Alive, right?
Yep, Dead or
They're
Alive.
alive. I mean, when it comes to MCs, I'm not really too. When it comes to MCs, I'm always gonna say Jadakiss.
Okay.
Cause Jadakiss always Jadakiss and Joel Ortiz, like those are like the 2 people that I felt like got me really into like freestyle rapping. Like I used to listen to all like Jadakiss beats, Joel Ortiz beats, and I used to just rap like and go sick, and they would inspire me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I would say Jadakiss, Joel Ortiz. I like Jay-Z. I feel as far as like lyricism goes, I gotta throw Styles P in there. Like for me, it's just I'm just a fan. Like I'm just a fan. Like when it comes to lyricism, but like for a current rapper, I gotta say J. Cole.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like I can definitely hear it within your music.
Yeah, no, J. Cole is definitely like he makes sense to me. You know, even when he says things that are very subliminal, like you would have to really like listen to him like and catch like what he was talking about. Like I feel like I could always perceive, like I could always get, you know what I mean? I just rock with his music, man. He's a talented individual for sure.
Right.
For sure, definitely respect him.
What's your go-to track?
Honestly, I would have to say Love Machine, man. Love Machine is like.
About who?
I don't.
You talking about the old song?
Yeah. I forgot who sings that song. Love Machine is like a song that like it doesn't matter what kind of day is going on. Like that's like a jam of mine. That and Justin Timberlake, Love Stone, and like those are, yeah, those 2 right there. Those are like those songs. They do something to me, man. Like just the musicality, like just even like the Love Machine song. I gotta find out who sings that. I'm gonna be stumped.
Yeah. Just
I'm gonna be stumped.
I'm gonna look that up. But what makes you different?
I just feel like I talk about things that a lot of people don't talk about. I feel like I talk about the uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. Make you really think.
Yeah. For sure. I feel like for me it's easy to talk about, like, you know, getting lit. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it really is. It's too easy and it gets boring.
Especially freestyling.
Mm-hmm.
I can freestyle for like 48 hours about getting lit. All different kinds of lids.
all the different liquors.
All the different lids.
All the different tequila brands out there.
All the different times of the year and times of the day you can get lit. Like
different shades of women, yeah.
So have you found who makes Love Machine?
Oh, right here, looking. Smokey Robinson?
Yeah, and it's a collaboration with somebody else.
Yeah, because it sounds like a band.
Yeah.
And it might be, they have a band, but it just says Smokey Robinson.
Yeah, it's Smokey Robinson, but it's I forgot the name of the band. The band is very important. But anyways, yeah. So that's dope. That's one of my joints right there. Like you know I'm in a great mood if I'm rocking that joint.
Yeah, so we definitely appreciate you coming out and rocking with us in Live in the Living Room. Shout out Danny for being our host. You know, but, would you mind like leaving us with the performance?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get it.
Let me see you sleep with your eyes wide open, underwater with your eyes wide open. And now you seeing, unconscious but your mind still soaking. That dry skin that you know need lotion. I know you see me smiling, but I'm gonna be alright. Things are getting hard. I don't feel like getting hyper, feeling hard. I don't feel like getting up, but I should. They don't think I have an answer, but I would. I don't have to flex on you, but I could. And if I do, it'll bring no good. It's cool, I just wish you the best. Relieve your stress, have ease when you rest. But you could come through. Late night or in the early morning, come through. Late night or in the early morning, come through. Yeah, 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 yeah. Late night or in the early morning, you come through. And you could just taking my rhymes and my flow to connect to different parts of my brain, hoping they could collect. Because it seems like my mind got my soul up in debt, fishing for flows in my steeds, so they hold up the net. Hold up the net. I got more, just give me a sec, just take a breath. Like you out of breath, but take some steps in my shoes. Tell me how you feel in the sweat, like you're rent overdue, but you're losing the bet. Now people think they got the clue, but they can't even detect. If I ain't really in the mood, then I'm just trying to protect something that you never knew. I spit jazz like the blues, checking my moves. I'm dancing like it's blue suede shoes. Now let me groove. I'm making my moves. About my lonely like a goose, but it's always you and your G's like some geese. But you should have learned from your homies. Rest in peace. Cause dying to your flesh is the way to reveal the peace. I'm lusting over things, material things won't fulfill your dreams. But that's not really reality. For real, bro, nah, bro, actually. But you could come through. Late night or in the early morning, come through. Late night or in the early morning, come through.